Today on Public Eye News, Governor Whitmer approves a $5.5 million investment into Michigan's Upper Peninsula. And later, the leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, has been killed in Gaza. More information later in the show.
Our best, Beck Beerley, has a look into the weather forecast around the UP, and later, your end of the week sports report. I'm Bianca Kroll.
And I'm Liam Eulenjoy. This is Public Eye News. Today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer has announced business investment and community revitalization projects throughout the Upper Peninsula. The programs were announced in conjunction with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. As part of the investments, Northern Hardwoods Lumber has announced plans to build a new boiler and steam turbine at their facility in Houghton County. That comes with the support of a $250,000 Michigan Business Development Program grant. In addition, Cedar Street Real Estate has announced plans to revitalize a former bank in downtown Manistee. MEDC sources say the new programs will represent over $5.5 million of capital investment. They will also protect 85 high-paying jobs in the region. And former President Donald Trump and current Vice President Kamala Harris are in Michigan today. They are here to campaign to voters in the state, particularly its Arab American community. Trump will appear in Hamtramck, one of the few cities in the United States with a Muslim majority population. He'll be taking advantage of dissatisfaction with the Biden administration's handling of the war in Gaza. The Democratic mayor of that town has endorsed him, while 3 members of the city council have thrown their support behind Harris. The vice president, meanwhile, will be in Grand Rapids and Lansing to speak about the war in Gaza and union issues, respectively. Michigan is one of a few swing states that is likely to decide the presidential election in November.
In recent land exchange between Michigan Department of Natural Resources and the Keweenaw Land Association, more than 8,000 acres of mineral rights was transferred. This is allowing rights from beneath Michigan's largest state park. Ron Olson, chief of the DNR's Parks and Recreation Division, said that it was a very important transaction for both parties and is allowing them to better protect the park resources in the Porcupine Mountains. This process took nearly 3 years to complete, and the deal finally closed on October 11, 2024. The DNR acquired 8,392 acres of mineral rights, and the Keweenaw received 9,551 acres of mineral rights. No money was traded in this deal, as the exchange was seen as a fair trade. And students from several schools in Michigan have unveiled their artwork for the Michigan Department of Transportation's annual Paint the Plow event. This event allows students to paint plows in awareness for the plow operators who keep the Michigan roads free from the snowfall. The creative designs feature safety messages to remind users on the road to go hands-free, as it is illegal to hold and use an electronic device while driving. While these designs highlight students' artwork, it also serves as a reminder to those on the road to drive safely. These painted plows will be visible along various state truck lines in Michigan through the winter months. They will be both functional maintenance vehicles and striking reminders of safe driving practices. Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumley has a new defense team attempts to appeal his sentence. Gino Vicini of CBS News Detroit has more.
Yes, today was a very brief appearance on behalf of the Oxford shooter's legal defense team. His new legal defense team, they want him re-sentenced based on this new medical information.
It's going to be a very uphill battle at this point.
Attorney and legal expert Lillian Diallo is reacting to a motion filed on behalf of the Oxford shooter's new legal team, claiming their client is suffering from something called fetal alcohol syndrome, which is a condition that can occur when a mother drinks alcohol during pregnancy. That can lead to neurodevelopmental disorders. Diallo says she is unsure if this defense will work, given the Oxford shooter has underwent many physical and psychological evaluations, and none so far have suggested that he had alcohol fetal syndrome, but says she understands the legal aspect of what is playing out in court right now.
That's the appellate attorney doing what the appellate attorney is supposed to do, right? They have to argue something. They're looking to see if they can get a better situation for Mr. Crumley.
Currently, the Oxford shooter is serving a life sentence without parole for planning, shooting, and killing 4 Oxford High School students on November 30th, 2021. Tate Meir, Hannah St. Juliana, Madison Baldwin, and Justin Schilling. Diallo provided CBS Detroit with legal analysis throughout the Oxford shooter's trial. Today, inside of an Oakland County courtroom, Judge Kwame Roll denied a request by the Oxford shooter's defense to file more briefs pertaining to alcohol fetal syndrome. That request was denied, citing the deadline to do so had passed. Diallo says for the sake of the victims' families, better not to allow this appeal to drag on.
And what he's saying is this is not going to be a very novel or a complex issue, right? Let the prosecutor respond and we'll have arguments and I'll make my decision based on that response.
And the prosecution has until November 19th to file a response to this motion. And let me just point out that this only has to do with the sentencing and not the actual conviction. But November 19th, that's when the prosecution has to file their response, at which time Judge Kwame Rowe will decide whether or not this new information warrants a new sentencing. In Pontiac, Gino Vici, CBS News, Detroit.
Now don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with your weather and national news after this break. Stay tuned.
Celebrating 50 years of Austin City Limits with Jacob Collier and Nickel Creek.
Tonight at 11 on WNMU TV.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Beck Burley and I'll be giving you a public eye weather report for the day. Taking a look at the rooftop cam, it's looking gorgeous on the Academic Mall, but let's move into some current temperatures across the UP. Currently, we are looking at sunny skies all across the board. Over in Houghton, we're looking at a current temp of 71. In Ironwood, it is 71 as well. In Iron Mountain, it is 66. Taking a look at the eastern side of the UP, down in Menominee, it is 63. In Escanaba, it is 60. Over in Manistee, it is 61. And in Sault Ste. Marie, it is 66. Back in our lovely Marquette, it is 62. Taking a closer look at our current conditions, we are looking at winds out of the south-southwest at 6 miles per hour with a barometric pressure of 30.24 inches and steady. Tonight, we can see clear skies with a low of 48, winds out of the south-southwest at 12 miles per hour with a moon phase of a waning gibbous. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with a high of 62, a low of 54, and winds out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Looking ahead this Sunday, we have a high of 69 with mostly sunny skies and a low of 52. This Monday, we have a high of 71 with the same conditions and a low of 53. And this Tuesday, we can see some rainy conditions with a high of 66 and a low of 45. That's all I have for weather. Back to the news desk.
Well, thanks for that weather update, Beck. It's nice to see sun across the UP, at least for now. But now it's time for your national news, starting with this. Hamas has confirmed the death of its de facto leader, Yahya Sinwar, after sources in the Israeli army announced it earlier this week. Sinwar was killed in a chance gun battle with Israeli soldiers in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. Israel celebrated his death with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying this is the start of the day after Hamas. Other sources in his government urged Hamas to surrender. They have called upon the militant group to return the over 100 hostages still in their custody since their October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. The U.S. has similar aspirations for a hostage deal. However, Sinwar's deputy, Khalil al-Hayya, has said that Hamas will not return anyone until Israel completely withdraws from the Gaza Strip. And officials in the Biden administration are rushing to complete major climate initiatives before his term ends. This includes billions of dollars in clean energy investment and offshore wind projects. Biden wants his legacy to entail significant climate action. That includes setting a path to reduce nationwide greenhouse gas emissions. These developments come as Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump articulate their diametrically opposed views on climate action. Trump has promised to rescind unspent funds from Biden's climate and health care bill, as well as stop offshore wind development. Harris says her climate agenda will resemble Biden's, following a policy of reduced emissions, support for renewables, and creating clean energy jobs. And in Georgia, new charges are brought against the Appalachia High School shooter and his father. CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman has more information on what the boy and his father are facing.
All right, good morning, sir. Are you Mr. Colt Gray?
Investigators allege school shooting suspect Colt Gray had an elaborate plan of attack, including a layout of the school and how many people he could kill.
A notebook in Colt's bedroom. It had pretty detailed drawings of a stick figure that he had labeled you, so him. It then says, shoot the teacher first.
We do have an active situation at Appalachia High School right now.
Last month's shooting at Appalachia High School killed 2 students and 2 teachers. Testimony also revealed the teen had created a shrine.
There were multiple clippings from newspapers, pictures that have been printed off the internet of other shooters that have been involved in similar incidences.
Investigators say the suspect's mother was concerned about her son's mental health and urged his father to restrict gun access. Instead, Colin Gray bought his son ammo and tactical gear.
They have charged the father actually with second-degree murder, which is the highest level charge that we've ever seen of a school shooter's parent. And it all really centers around access. This was one of the same issues in the Crumley trial.
In that case, prosecutors charged the parents of a Michigan school shooter. They were convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
And prosecutors are saying enough is enough. Parents need to be held accountable.
The Grays, father and son, are scheduled to return to court next month. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
And we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
I'm Mike Settles. On the next Media Meet, we continue our candidate forums with a focus on Michigan's 1st Congressional District, covering all of the Upper Peninsula and the northern Lower Peninsula from Mackinac City to south of Houghton Lake and West Branch. We will look at the contest between the two leading candidates, Democrat Callie Barr and Republican incumbent Jack Bergman. The Michigan 1st Congressional District Candidate Forum is next time on Media Meet.
And I'm back for your Public Eye Sports Update. The New York Liberty are just one win away from capturing their first WNBA title. A dramatic buzzer-beating shot from Sabrina Ionescu in Game 3 on Wednesday gave the Liberty a 2-1 lead over the Minnesota Lynx. Liberty have been close to a championship before. In 1999, they hit a similar buzzer beater to the tie series at 1-1 before losing the following day in a winner-take-all Game of 3. It's also a similar position for the Minnesota Lynx, who have overcome a 2-1 deficit to the LA Sparks to win the title in 2017. Liberty will have a chance to raise the trophy on their home floor tonight at 8 p.m. And sliding over to hockey, the Detroit Red Wings were no match for Artemi Panarin and the New York Rangers last night as they lost 5-2. A hat trick from the Russian superstar helped the Rangers out to a big lead early in the second period, and they never looked back. For the Red Wings, their early season woes continue now just 1-3 through their first 4 games. 2 of those losses have come against the Rangers, who remain undefeated and regular this season. The Wings will look to right the ship on Saturday when they go onto the road to take on the Winnies Nashville Predators. And keeping things on the ice, the NMU hockey team will face off against Alaska Anchorage tonight. In their first home series of the year, the Cats come off back-to-back losses against Colorado College, looking for their first win against the 0-4 Seawolves. Historically, NMU have dominated against Alaska Anchorage, boasting an all-time record of 29-13-1, including wins in 11 of their last 12 matchups in the Barry Event Center. Tonight's game starts at 7 p.m. and Saturdays will begin at 6 p.m. Both games will be available to stream on Midcoast Sports and on the radio on 100.3 The Point. That's all I have for sports. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Beck, for that sports update. I'm definitely looking forward to the home opener of the hockey game. Are you looking forward to that, Liam?
Me too. I hope they follow in their footsteps, their historical trend, and wipe the floor with Alaska Anchorage. I have a lot of high hopes for the NMU hockey team this season.
I definitely agree. I think they've been doing pretty good, and we got a good team, a new start, but I think they got a good head start with what they're going for. So
that's what I hear as well. I have a lot of people who really closely follow the hockey team, and I'm learning more and more about it. And the more I hear, the more confident I am about their upcoming performance. I'll definitely try to make the game and enjoy it quite a bit with some friends.
I know the Puckheads are definitely excited about it.
They
Always
are.
keeping on the cheers. I am ready for the cheers tonight. I'm hoping they bring it back. I can't wait to scream, "Go Cats, go!"
Neither can I. But that's all the time we have left today at Public Eye News. I'm Liam Eulenjoy.
And I'm Bianca Kroll.
And we'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.